Hey there guys, it's CyberUltra here, and in today's video I'll be discussing some brand new information Nintendo dropped today via Twitter regarding Virtual Console and the Wii U and 3DS eShops. So, before we get into it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video if you enjoy the content. Alright, so here's the info. On January 18th, 2022, Nintendo is no longer supporting credit cards as a payment method on the Wii U and 3DS eShops. Prepaid cards will still be accepted, so things like Nintendo eShop gift cards will still work. As of the recording of this video, this only applies to Japan, but this does signal Nintendo beginning to phase out the Wii U and 3DS eShops, even if right now it's only for Japan. But the greater thing I wanted to talk about in this video is how this kind of signals them slowly closing down the Wii U and 3DS eShops. We've seen with previous shops in the past that they slowly kind of do this. So with the Wii, first they stopped the ability of being able to buy channel points, and then they closed off the ability to just buy things in general. So that's kind of what's going on with this, where they're really beginning to close it down. I wanted to quickly make this video to give you guys my thoughts on where exactly I stand with this, because honestly, I see lots of negatives and not many positives. Of course, we do know that Nintendo can't keep these shops up forever. They do have to close eventually, but these are pretty recent consoles. I personally feel like right now is just way too soon for them to just immediately close it down. But regardless of that, there is a greater issue that needs to be discussed, and that's Virtual Console. Virtual Console was a really good way of being able to play old games on modern systems. Not everyone wants to go back and boot up their N64 to play Ocarina of Time or Mario 64. So Nintendo giving fans the option to play these old games on brand new hardware was really nice. Unfortunately though, as we know, Nintendo loves being Nintendo and decided to get rid of a perfectly good service in favor of a really bad online service with some free games included. So yeah, as we know, instead of getting Virtual Console on the Nintendo Switch, we get Nintendo Switch Online NES and Nintendo Switch Online SNES, which means that basically, if you're a subscriber of the Nintendo Switch Online service, you get access to some cool NES games and some older SNES games as well, but you don't get the ability to purchase them. So you don't own any of these games, but instead, you simply have them in a Netflix-style service. It also doesn't help that this only has NES and SNES, so you can't even play N64 or other consoles like previous Virtual Console services. For example, on the Wii U, you could play N64 games, DS games, and even more, but Nintendo decided to just not make that an option with the Switch, which especially sucks because having the ability to play these both on the TV and on the go would have been really nice. So my main concern with Nintendo deciding to close down these shops is that this signals the end of Virtual Console as we know it. There won't be any way to go back and buy old classic Nintendo titles after they shut down this service, which they've shown that they're planning to do, and then with the Nintendo Switch, that's just not an option. So it's especially frustrating when Nintendo constantly goes after ROM sites and different websites trying to preserve these games, so they don't let the fans preserve them, but then they themselves are getting rid of them. And of course, this gaming history is really important, and people want to be able to go back to old stuff, so the fact that Nintendo refuses to put it on the Nintendo Switch and is now closing it down for the 3DS and Wii U is a really bad sign. I'm hoping that they end up fixing this and maybe on the next console they do bring it back, but seeing as their online model basically relies on NES and SNES games being the bonus, I don't really see it happening. I hope Nintendo proves me wrong and brings back Virtual Console in order to preserve those old games, but honestly, I wouldn't count on it. Anyways, that's all I really had to talk about for today's video. Make sure to let me know in the comments what you think about Nintendo basically shutting out any option fans have of buying their old games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.